Welcome to the Picky Girl Travels podcast, the show for Black women who want more out of life and to live it as they see fit. The message here is all about defying convention, embracing adventure, and regretting absolutely nothing. I'm your host, Adalia of PickyGirlTravelsTheWorld.com. Hey y'all, how you doing? Okay, I'm going to give you a forewarning. This episode is a little different than previous episodes. As you know, this podcast is all about us as Black women finding the path to living life on our terms, living the life that we've always wanted, regardless of, what society says is appropriate for us. Yesterday was June 1st, and I don't know, something just kind of hit me like, oh my gosh, we are 6 months into 2020. Where did the time go? I mean, I've been here for all of it. However, I don't know, something just hit me yesterday about the year being halfway over. It made me think about is my 2022 going the way I had hoped, the way I had planned? I don't know, for some reason it made me reflective. Wasn't there a new moon? I think there was a new moon a couple days ago. Maybe that's what got me in the reflective mood. I don't know. So I went back and I remembered that if you're anything like me, way back in January, you probably set some goals for this year. Maybe you made some resolutions. Maybe you even made a vision board. I set goals and I made a vision board. Setting goals is not something easy for me to do. And I remember laboring over these goals. I even set timelines that I wanted to achieve them by. So I don't know. I think this episode is going to be hey, let's check in. That's what this is. This is a check-in episode. I'm checking in on where I am for 2022, and hopefully you will check in with yourself as well. Okay, so the first part of this check-in is going back and looking at our goals. What's the status of the goals you set? Now, I'm gonna keep it 100% real. I'm gonna keep it transparent. I'm gonna share with y'all some of the goals I set. Give me a sec. All right, so here we are. Here's my planner. Because as the illustrious Stephanie Perry said, if something really matters to you, your calendar, your planner should reflect it. So I am definitely a pen and paper kind of planner person. Okay, so in this planner, there is, I don't know if y'all can see that, but there is a goal setting section where you start with the big picture, where you want to be at the end of the year, and then you set goals. This particular planner, I think, uses some of the aspects of the Day Designer planner. I don't know if that means anything to y'all, but anyway. Under my goals, my personal goals was to lose 25 pounds, and I gave myself until my birthday in March to do that. That ain't happened. I told myself I was going to practice yoga daily, and I did that for a week maybe. Oh, by June 1st, I had the goal. There was a sewing project that I wanted to complete by June 1st. And I started out good. I got I got there was some specialized hardware I needed for that project. I got that, but I never picked a fabric to make it out of. So that didn't happen by June 1st. Um, Family, friends, and relationship goals. I made a goal to make 2 Mexican friends by June 1st. I don't think I have made any. um, and then I had another goal of okay, I there's a section on here for financial goals. Um, One, I put to double my monthly income. I did not include, if y'all are familiar with SMART goals, you know that you've got to make them time bound and specific and all of that. I didn't put a date on that. And there are a couple of months where I did that, but I didn't, that was more by accident, not anything I tried to do. Um, I said I wanted to get back to adding to my investments. And I did that for maybe 1 month, maybe 2 months, and then I forgot about it. Um, and then for like work, career, study goals, one of my goals here was to spend an hour a day either speaking, reading, or listening to Spanish. I have no clue if I came close to that. I mean, by default, I spend some time doing one of those things. 60 minutes a day? Nah. And another, I guess this is a work goal, I have to make more reels. That's the whole goal. I didn't make it more specific. I didn't give myself a deadline or anything. And I made 2 reels so far this year. So technically, that, and I'm talking about IG reels in case somebody is listening to this or watching this and they're like, what the hell is a reel? I made 2. I made 2, which is more than I ever had before. So technically, we're gonna chalk that one up as a complete goal because technically I achieved it. So what are your goals looking like? Okay, so what about your goals, your New Year's resolutions? Did you make any? If you did, when's the last time you looked at them? Have you been making progress? Go back and look at it. I also took those goals and then turned them into a vision board. I watched Stephanie Perry's vision board making party live. I did not do it live, but I did do it. And when I actually made it, my vision board is the lock screen on my phone. Because my thought was I would look at my phone every day and I would be reminded. And I mean, let's be real. If we look at how many of my goals I achieved, I don't know that that worked, but I'm not going to say this was a horrible idea. So we'll come back to that. But if you haven't thought about your New Year's resolution or your goals in like 5 months, let today be the day that you go back and you revisit them. And see, are you on track with them or not? Now, I don't want anybody listening to this or watching this video feeling bad if, like me, you are a bit off track. You have not stayed on top of achieving those goals that you set for yourself. If you have not kept your New Year's resolution, if you've not achieved any of the things on your vision board yet, I don't want you to feel bad. This is not something you should feel bad about. First of all, you are human. You are living in unprecedented times. You've been living in unprecedented times for years. I'm not even going to go into the list of all of the shitty things that are happening right now in the world. Just the fact that you are here and you are still making it through every day, that is a victory in and of itself. So don't beat yourself up if you let your goals and objectives fall by the wayside. You're human, okay? We have to give ourselves grace. We have to be kind with ourselves, because the outside world sure as hell isn't. And here's the thing: beating yourself up about, I don't even want to use the word failure, because I don't see this as a failure. Like, and I'm speaking for myself personally. It's more of a wake up call is how I see it, versus like, oh my gosh, I failed. Beating yourself up and considering yourself a failure or anything like that, what does that solve? That doesn't do anything but make you feel bad. Why would you want to do something that makes you feel bad? So, no. And here's the thing: the year ain't over yet, y'all. We still got 6 months. A lot can happen in 6 months. You still have plenty of time to get back on track to achieve the things that you decided back in January were important to you. So let's talk about that. So for those of you like me who in January, you made the vision board, you created the list of goals, you made the New Year's resolution, go back, look at those. Do you still want to achieve those things? That's the first thing to ask yourself, is like, having lived through the last 6 months and survived, are these still the things that matter to me? Okay, so that's the first thing. If indeed those are the things that still matter to you, that you want to achieve, you'll need to figure out like what caused the problem in the first place. Was it that they were written somewhere and then you never looked at them again? So then maybe you need to have your goals visible, or maybe you had them on your phone, but you didn't make a point to look at that and remind yourself, okay? If you decide, you revisit those goals, those objectives, whatever, and you're feeling like, I'm not really feeling these anymore, or I want to achieve something different now that I have made it this far into 2022, my priorities are shifted. Or if you're somebody who back in January, you were just trying to survive, you didn't set any goals, but you feel like maybe I should set some goals for how I want the rest of the year to turn out. So if you want new ones, or you didn't have any before, first thing we need to do is figure out, okay, what is it you want to achieve? What is it you want to change? Remember, here at Picky Girl Travels, we are all about living life on your terms. And I've talked about this in multiple episodes. What does that look like for you? I have shared with y'all previously that when I first started to be reflective like that in my own life, it was a hard thing for me to do, because my life had been such that it was very hard for me to step out of my existence at that point and envision what possibly could happen. It was very difficult for me to dream. So what might be helpful to you, if you don't have an idea of what it is you want, what you want your life to look like, what you want your life to feel like, do the reverse. What don't you want? What about how you're living right now do you want to change? What about how you feel right now? You don't want to feel that. So you can go at this from either direction. But first you have to have a clear idea of what you want to achieve or what you don't want to achieve. Okay? And then use those to write your goals, to create your vision board. And I will say that I always think it is helpful for, as you're doing this self-reflection and you're figuring this out, write it down. Just having these ideas kicking around in your head, I think, is an invitation to inaction. And for me, seeing things written down, it's like, whoa, I'm really close to achieving this, or like, oh my gosh, my life is like way off from where I want it to be. So as you are figuring out what you want to change, what you want to improve, what you want to stop, actually physically make a list. In an episode a little earlier this year, I shared something I had found in a blog post that's not even live anymore. And where I made a table, because y'all know I love a table, that had the goal. It had, what was going on in my life that helped me achieve that, or what were the things that helped me hinder. If you're watching this on video, I'll include a graphic over here, and to refresh your memory, because that was the episode about like financial alignment, to do our financial purchases, our financial life align with what it is that we want. So you could use something like that, or, and here's the thing, y'all, these, as you saw from my goals, these don't have to be like big grand goals. These are just things that you want to achieve. So you've done some reflection, you've identified the goals that you want to keep. If necessary, you've written new goals. What do we do next? How do we keep from it being December 31st, January 1st, 2023, and us sitting here and having the same issue of, oh, look at these goals I set, look at these resolutions I made, and I haven't achieved any of them. What am I going to do differently for the next 6 months so that I'm not sitting here doing that? Okay. I think what is going to make a difference for me is I have to come to terms with the fact that I need structure. Like people talk about, making routines, and like those routines can help you achieve a goal. So like one of my goals was to do yoga every morning. However, I do not have a morning routine. So if I had a morning routine, maybe that would help me with that goal. The thing with me is I need that kind of structure, but I actively rebel against it. I think it's because, for the first 40 years of my life, somebody else always got to tell me what I needed to be doing and where I needed to be. And so in this part of my life, I kind of reject all of that. I don't want anybody telling me what to do, including myself. And so that's something I'm going to have to work on. But I'm going to need some kind of structure in place, whether that be like creating a morning routine in which yoga is part of that, or maybe that means putting it on my calendar. Like I said, Stephanie made a really good point about if something is important to you, if it matters to you, your calendar should reflect it. So I haven't been putting do yoga on my calendar. I haven't, put, go out and meet some Mexican friends on my calendar. So maybe that's what will make the difference this time. Also, I think I am going to build in like more check-ins, because basically 6 months, it took me 6 months to go back and check in on my goals to see how I had progressed. 6 months is way too long for that. So maybe like a weekly thing. Maybe as I am, because I do sort of kind of have a day, like on Sunday, I like to think about, okay, so what are the things I need to do for this next upcoming week? So maybe part of that Sunday thing will be like, okay, which of these goals did you make progress on? I use Google Calendar because that's what's on my phone and that's what's easy. I know you can add reminders and you can add tasks. So maybe I need to take advantage of doing that. But that, for me, I think those are the things that I am going to be more cognizant of and work on thinking about. I also might need to actually print my goals out on a piece of paper and have it like posted or have it over here on my desk, so that, again, another reminder of, hey, this is what you said you were going to do. I also might, maybe Ivana can help me with this. I might have to maybe she could be my, what do you call it? Accountability partner. Maybe for some of these things, like, because I'm an introverted introvert, trying to go out and meet strangers and talk to them in Spanish, like, whew, talking about anxiety inducing. But maybe if I had somebody who would call me out and be like, okay, so how many times did you try and talk to somebody this week? So maybe an accountability partner for some of those things might do different. But overall, I am committed to not letting the next 6 months get away from me. Like, I made these goals because they were important to me. They had value. These were things I wanted to achieve. And I don't want to let myself down by, like, just ignoring that, hey, you wanted to achieve these things. These are all doable things. I just have to have a little bit more discipline about it. So hopefully seeing my real life struggles help you with yours. If you have found this episode useful, because this is a little different than what we normally do, let me know. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can leave a comment. If you are listening to this on one of your podcatchers, there is a link in the description where you can either leave me a voicemail on Anchor. You can reach out on social media. There are Picky Girl Travels everywhere. And because I want to hear from y'all. Like, am I out here alone slacking, or are some of y'all with me? I am curious. And so I hope this little short episode was useful to you in reminding you of the goals you set for yourself, the things that you wanted to achieve, and give you just, and also remind you that, hey, we still got 6 months, y'all, to make this happen. So let's do this. And if you are watching this on YouTube and you have not subscribed to the channel, can you do that? I am trying really hard to hit 10,000 subscribers. If you are listening to this on a podcatcher, if you can subscribe there, great. If you want to leave a review, that's helpful as well. If there's somebody in your life that you think might find this episode useful, feel free to share it with them. Thank you, everybody, for your support. And until next time.